Hello and welcome to Update Novi. I have a very, very special guest. You know, I don't even know if I should call you I know. Should I even call you a guest? Because it's the same guest every time. We should just become co-hosts. I was going to say the same thing.
I'm promoting myself.
Okay, I'm here with my co-host. You're promoting yourself. Mayor Justin Fischer.
Does that come with a raise?
I don't know. If you get a raise, I get a raise.
I knew that was
I
set myself up for that.
So, welcome.
Good to be here again.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you very much. All set for another 2-year term as mayor. Election just wrapped up.
So you know that means that we have been doing these Update Novis pretty consistently for 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just about every month, every 2 months.
Every month or so, yeah. It's crazy.
What episode number are we on?
I don't know, but I bet Josh and Trevor will know.
Perfect. I look forward to looking that up.
They keep track of the pod. But congratulations, seriously. Time does fly when you're having fun.
It does. And like I said, I set up for another 2 years. Got a couple new council members coming on board as well. So some winning re-election. So good congratulations to Brian Smith, top vote getter. He's been on council for 4 years now.
Okay.
Won another 4-year seat. Priya Gurmurthy, we had appointed her when I became mayor, and she won as well. And she's the first Indian American to be elected in the city of Novi. So that's a really big accomplishment to see that, and really proud to see her continuing with us. And then finally, Aaron Martinez, a name that's been on the ballot before, was successful in his run for city council, and another, keeping that tradition of Novi High School grads, keeping someone on council that's from Novi High School graduating class at some point. So really good mixture. Looking forward to the next session.
You know, it's amazing how, I guess how fast I joked, time flies when you're having fun, but how fast time really does go. And if I looked back over the last 2 years, I could sit here and name, oh my goodness, a dozen off the top of my head. I don't want to say changes, but visionary or impactful things that have happened during your tenure as mayor. And every mayor, I don't think you set out going, hey, I want to leave my mark, but it just, it happens. It transitions as such as to way, not that any mayor's, Mayor Gatt, for his long time, 12 years as mayor, you got into a rhythm, and we knew what to expect, what to like, what his mark was going to be. And you came in 2 years ago, and
probably a little different.
A little. So right. So, and where I'm going with this is, you, unbeknownst to you, are already starting to leave your mark, right? Like, if you could look back over the last 2 years, what are you most proud of? As we look to the future, because you've got 2 more years, but what has set the foundation or the stage, if you would, for during that 2 years and where you want to go?
What I'm most proud of in the last 2 years is how the council has actually come together. And that has been my overarching goal, right? Like I just mentioned, a couple of new people are coming on. Thankful to Erica Thomas, who served the last 4 years as well, and decided to not run for re-election. So with her as part of that council, I think we were able to lead in a way and make decisions in a way that didn't cause the city harm, right? I always say my job is to keep the city out of the press. The press loves writing.
That's my job.
Which, yes, with your help, of course. You do the execution, but no. But if we're at the council table sniping at each other, if we're making sarcastic comments to each other, if everything's a 4-3 vote or a 3-4 vote and it's contentious, that's a problem. But I think I tried to, at the top as mayor, lead the dialogue, lead the discussions, lead the process in a way that was constructive. We got things done. People did have some disagreements, but overall, we were able to do it in a respectful way, and that's how government should be. I mean, come on, do you think Lansing and Washington run like Novi? I would say no.
No, I respect that, and I agree with you, and I think people don't realize that before the council meeting, all the information in. That starts at a city staff level, right? City council may have directed the policy or initiated a project, but it's the information that council is given as a whole from city staff with the background information, all the data. And I do think y'all were very data driven in your approaches to decisions, and always looking at the future for what is best for Novi.
Correct.
Right?
Absolutely. And in that same vein of kind of working together, not making the council meeting a Jerry Springer show, a lot of work goes into that. And we had a very knowledgeable and a very studied council where a lot of people will say, well, gee, you just approved 3 things without really talking a lot. Well, to your point, staff has fed us information. We've gotten off-week packets. Then we get the big packet for council. And oh, by the way, if there are some complex discussions that I need to have, I pick up the phone and I call Victor and say, hey, will you answer these couple questions for me? So this council was one who actually came to the meeting, very well studied, so they were ready to vote. Sometimes people think when you're talking loud at the council table, it means you're learning things or you're knowledgeable.
Right.
To me, that pretty much shows that you didn't do your homework beforehand. So come to the meeting, ready to vote, and that's what this council really, the mark that council left for me.
I think too, when I look back over the last couple years, I see progress, and not that Novi isn't always forward thinking, but just like Splash Pad open, Novi Northwest Park. I look at development. We had a Sears retail store that sat vacant for a decade, maybe more. I don't recall, but a long time. The reinvestment that council approved there with Dick's House of Sport and Primark, and I think there's a bowling alley maybe going in there. Road projects that have been funded. Let's talk about the passing of the public safety, the bond, like progress, right?
Correct.
Like you see the reinvestment and the vision for Novi still moving in a forward direction.
Yep, and along Grand River there too, there were a couple developments that have been approved for years and years, right? Towns at Main Street as well as Sakura.
Oh, wonderful.
And finally, the shovels have gone into the ground. They're going vertical. I saw that, I think Chubby Cattle, the restaurant, that's open. Was at the grand opening for Clawsome and Paris Baguette. So that area should be getting some life breathed into it after decades. I mean, literally decades of Main Street hoping to come to fruition a little bit.
So I see a forward-thinking council too, right?
Yes.
What's your thoughts for the next couple years then?
I think we did everything in the last 2 years. I'm just going to take the next 2 years off, maybe, was my goal, if that's okay with you. Can I put my vacation time in with you?
Fine by me.
No, a lot of groundwork has been set, I would say. You mentioned it, the public safety bond, right? That is, I think, a hallmark of, this council getting that on the ballot. And then obviously the work that you and your team, as well as the public safety team and the whole city staff did to educate voters on what it meant, getting that across the finish line. But again, you got to remember that started with Mayor Gatt 5-6 years ago. That's passed now, but now it's in the implementation execution phase, right? We're hiring the construction managers. We're hiring the architect and engineer. Now is the time when we have to make sure we have that oversight on the budget to make sure we come in, under budgeted on time. So that'll really take up, I think, a lot of the focus over the next couple of years from City Council.
It's exciting, and I would say much needed, as we all know, and learned through over the past year. Anything on the horizon in 26, 27 that residents should be thinking about, aware of, any budget, or too early to talk? I mean,
you're trying to get me to give my state of the city in December. What the heck?
No, I think it's fresh on my mind because we actually hosted Leadership Novi today in partnership with the Chamber, and you just got to chat with them for a little bit. But when you talk to business owners, et cetera, you're constantly talking about how we tell our story and some of the challenges that our community relations communications, and you, your colleagues, I think we all are faced with is telling the story, the accurate story, and demonstrating need for smart growth, right?
Yep.
And I guess I look at what's on the horizon, because it is one of those, it's a balancing act, right? Like, cost of doing business is going up.
Right.
It's no secret. The city's not immune to that. Just like you and your household, our Malloy household, the cost goes up.
Yep.
So how does the city raise more income, generate, I'll say, more tax dollars,
Right.
but yet people don't want to develop? It's hard. It's a catch-22, right?
It's a very large catch-22 because you have a couple different competing factors there, right? One is, and we talk about it, going back to the 70s and 80s, as people started building houses east Novi, everyone wants to kind of be that last person in. And a lot of people, I had a resident write me, well, hey, I was told this was, protected wetland. Well, just because something isn't developed yet doesn't mean it's protected wetland. And people do have a right under the land use laws to develop based on zoning. So, we have to let that happen or we can get in trouble. On the flip side, we need to do it in a responsible way that our infrastructure can actually withhold, right? But we spoke recently with Superintendent Micah even, right? We also need young families to continue to come into the school district. Everyone's always concerned about the class sizes, and they take that into consideration. The school district is well aware of our development plans, but they also need to make sure that we're replenishing and getting more students in there, because that's how they get their funding as well. So it's a bunch of different competing factors. And that's why I say it's responsible growth, it's balanced growth. And another piece that I will plan to focus on my next 2 years is going back to something Dave Landry always talked about, is making sure we have the residential component, the retail component, and the commercial component all kind of balanced. Because when you do have those recessions, you want to make sure that if residential falls, you still have the commercial and retail to kind of hold you up, or vice versa. And recently, we've focused so much on, I would say, residential and even to a certain extent retail. We haven't really focused on that larger scale economic development, commercial type of stuff. And there are areas and pockets of the city, I'm thinking 12 Mile, I'm thinking M5 corridor, where we really need to put some focus. So I've said it before that, turning towards economic development will be a tenet of my next 2 years.
Yep. And when Mayor referred to that, he's talking about taxable value, right? Like if housing values were, when was that? Maybe, 15 years ago?
0809.
0809. Yep. So when that saw a dip, Novi was able to hold its own, and the housing values rebounded so quickly because they were offset by the retail and commercial properties.
Correct. It's important. Just like you diversify your portfolio, you don't have all auto stocks or all tech stocks or all bonds. You need to do that with your taxable base as well, tax base as well. So,
So smart.
Mayor Landry was a pretty smart guy. Is a pretty smart guy.
He is a pretty smart guy. Anything fun? What was fun for you this year? I saw some dance moves. Come on. It should be right at the top of your head. Those dance moves at Diwali Fest.
Oh no, because I can already see what you guys are going to do to put the pictures up there, I'm sure. But we held our first Diwali Fest. We had our true special guests joining us on the couch last time. And it was a fantastic event. I haven't seen the City Civic Center that packed in my entire life here.
Yeah.
It was full of people. And yes, it started off with 6:30 with several city council members and some brave staff members doing a dance. It was a fantastic event with food and music and fireworks at the end. So big plans for next year.
That's what I've heard.
I don't even know can we still hold it? Do we think we have the capacity?
We were just talking about that today, because I think they're going to look to expand outside a little bit more. So utilize the outside of the Civic Center campus. But yeah, I think they're guessing 3,000+ people were here.
Yep.
So it was an amazing night. If you happen to miss it, watch next year for Diwali Fest here at the Civic Center campus, because It was an amazing night.
I've already instructed the dance group to plan on their calendar for the next year. We need to up our game.
Well, you guys should start practicing now.
I know. Well, certain people should start practicing. I won't mention any names, but
Okay. Are you going to share their initials?
Yeah, I'm going to stay out of it.
Okay. But
He may sit in the corner office, but
okay. It was a great night, and I think I've said it for 20 plus years. I know I've heard you say it. Mayor Gatt always said it. Mayor Landry. Novi is strong because of its people, and we continue to amaze me as a community that we respect and want to learn from each other. Mm-hmm. I had no idea what a celebration of Diwali looked like. I'd never been before. Yep. And attending and learning and seeing the festivity, I felt enriched, not only as a community member, staff member, but personally. And it was very, very cool. And I hope Novi continues to grow in that direction.
I think Novi shows a track record of doing so, mm-hmm. right? I mean, if you think about even the Japanese population that we have, yep. and have grown over the many years. Obviously, we have Ringo Kai's Saturday School in support of with the school district supporting that. Mm-hmm. But Japan Fest at the high school has been, I know I've made opening remarks at that for 4 or 5 years, so I don't yep. know how long that festival has been going on. We have many of these, and to your point, it's amazing to see not just that local culture or background yep. there. There's a lot of other people who want to come, enrich themselves, learn about different people. So, yep, I hope we keep on that trajectory. I think we're doing a great job with it.
So as we enter your second term, a lot to be grateful for. Mm-hmm. A lot to be thankful for as we go into this special season. Yep. We don't have a tree up. We don't have any menorahs around, but any holiday message to share with Novi or?
I think that the key thing is just we have a great city. We have great people, great neighbors. Just continue to get to know them. Continue to get to know ones that maybe you aren't familiar with. And in the spirit of the holidays too, hey, maybe there's an elderly or a senior in your neighborhood. Maybe they need some help. So, let's continue that tradition of being a welcoming and a helpful community.
That's a great message. And light the lights. We aren't going to, it was in November, but Diwali.
I was told I wasn't allowed to bring it up.
But the Community Fest, those programs, those events, always remind me, Novi is this big city, 66,000+ people. We've always been, I'll say, dinged for not having a traditional downtown. But we do have this city center, Novi, Grand River, with the Chamber, with Sakura now, with the townhomes on Main Street, et cetera, and development there, right? We have the Civic Center campus. We still have that community feel, and it is so alive at these events, these 3 events specifically I just mentioned, and it's such a good feeling. So to Mayor's point, think about a community spirit as you go into the holidays, all the amazing things we have to be thankful for in Novi, and maybe in 2026 think about coming out and getting involved and sharing that spirit.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
We've got a ton of people with so many different skills and backgrounds that we could always use it here in the city of Novi. So.
Yeah. Well, thanks for all you do.
Thank you for you, and happy holidays to you and your entire staff. And
I'm going to tell you Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas as well.
To Melissa, your family, and thank you too to Melissa and the kids for sharing you, because you are everywhere. You continue to support and be at events. I know you have a daytime job that takes you away from Novi, but then when you are home, you're everywhere, and the poor kids get dragged. I see them at everything.
They have fun with a lot of it.
Yes, they do.
You saw Lily at Diwali Fest. She was having quite the fun time. But
Lily's going to become I think she could sit here. I think
she gets
she's
shy in front of the camera all of a
but she
sudden.
kind of wants to.
Maybe that'll be a 26 episode. So
Maybe we do have Melissa and the kids on for an update, Novi,
That'd be
and
fun.
get like a real behind the scenes.
Perfect. We've got a couple episodes lined up for next
There
year.
we
Then.
go.
Yeah,
We do.
Well, thank you to everything you do. You know, I always say it. Yes, the elected officials are out there and joining, but the people who really actually run this city day to day are all of you who are in City Hall, really running the shop. And you guys do an amazing job. And I want to thank each and every one of you for everything you do.
Well, thank you, and we appreciate.
Not just you, Cheryl. I mean, you got to share that with everybody.
I heard that. I wasn't thinking about me at that moment. But thanks for joining me and sharing, and for continuing to put yourself out there and lead our city. We appreciate it, and look forward to the next 2 years.
Here's to 26.
Yeah, 26, 27. So until next time, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah. What am I missing?
Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa. All of those good things.
All of them.
Okay. And to you, Novi, thanks for tuning in for this episode of Update Novi. As always, Mayor Fischer and I wish you and yours all the very best. Stay safe. Until next time, see you later.